Thank God we are entering a full holy period, a period about which there is so much to say and so much to elaborate on. The celebration of Rabbi Meir Bal Hanes, Pesach Sheni, this coming Thursday with God's help, and next Tuesday, the great day, Lag BaOmer, the celebration of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, so many things about which there is so much to talk, to elaborate, to explain, and to learn from. Today, with God's help, we mainly want to focus on the figure of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the divine Tanna, the one who upholds the entire Torah, in all of the Torah, in all its parts, both the revealed and the hidden, in every matter and in every chamber of Torah. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, his character, his rulings, his conduct, his teachings are so present and prominent. Certainly there are so many things more numerous than the sea that one can discuss and explain about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. We want, through one topic, one opening, to explain two very central aspects of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's power. Seemingly, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai should have been the righteous person to whom the people are the least connected. After all, people tend to connect to things they understand. The Jew in particular, but really any group in the world, especially the Jewish people, they are very wise people, people who understand where it is worthwhile to draw close and where it is not worthwhile. Of course, we do not serve the Holy One, blessed be He, nor do we do all our spiritual work. We do not do all our spiritual work out of some ulterior motive or out of a desire to profit, become wealthy, or attain great things. But still, the Holy One, blessed be He, always whenever He wanted to persuade us to devote ourselves to Him, to do something for His sake, the Holy One, blessed be He, said, you will benefit from this. The closer you come to me, the closer you come to my teachings, to my commandments, the better it will be for you. The more you distance yourselves, the harder it will be for you before the Holy One, blessed be He, offered the Torah to the children of Israel and gave the Torah to the children of Israel. What did the Holy One, blessed be He, do first and foremost? He showed the children of Israel His greatness, His powers, His strength, and made them understand how worthwhile it would be for them to be His servants and to be those who follow in His ways. This is the human sense and this is human nature. And of course, the Holy One, blessed be He, acts accordingly, and the people of Israel always connect to places from which they can draw the greatest things. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai seemingly was not supposed to be the righteous man after whom all of Israel would flock so greatly. Most of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's teachings, or nearly all of them, are sealed, esoteric, obscure, not so clear to every person. Most of the people who shout Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, study his teachings, mention him, light candles for him, and pray for salvation in his merit cannot quote even a single saying or statement of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai in the realm of Kabbalah is one of the righteous, and in the mystical tradition he is the tzaddik whose entire Torah is obscure, sealed, and only a few rare individuals manage to understand his words of Torah. His words of Torah in the revealed tradition, in the Gemara, in the Mishnah, in all these places, in almost the vast majority of cases, the halacha does not follow Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. And yet, the people of Israel found something that actually brings Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai closer to them. What does Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai think about people? With what kind of perspective does Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai view people? We know that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said very strong and harsh things. About whom? About those who want to work for their livelihood. That is his entire sin, that he went out to work for his livelihood. A person who studies Torah but still worries, how will I make a living? What will I live off? I must work. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai in Tractate Berakot speaks against them in very harsh terms. They abandon eternal life for temporary life, setting aside Torah and prayer to focus solely on how to obtain a piece of bread. This is how Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, with scorn and defiance, spoke against those people. And yet, to whom did the people of Israel feel most connected? To Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai? Why is that? What does a person's soul feel that draws him so strongly? This soulful feeling is what so powerfully attracts a person specifically to the soul of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. More than all the other righteous people, more than all the other great and exalted individuals who lived for the people of Israel and performed miracles. And we know they have the power to sweeten harsh decrees and accept prayers and many other things. What is it about the power of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai? This is what we want to explain and understand through the context in which the entire story of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai appears in the Talmud. We know it's not for nothing. We know that it was not by chance that our sages who arranged the Gemara and the Mishnah chose to place each thing in its specific tractate. Even though there are things written in certain tractates that seem unrelated to the general topic of the tractate, this is simply the way of the Gemara. If they are talking about a particular Amora, then they already bring a sequence of statements that were said in his name. If they are dealing with a certain topic, then they move from one subject to another, quoting and saying things that are not necessarily the The general topic being discussed expands and spreads out. But nevertheless, in truth, every statement that is written in a particular Gemara, in a particular tractate, since it falls under the name of the tractate, under the title of the tractate, it is still closely connected to the central topic of the tractate. Where do we find in the Gemara the entire well-known story about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, how he spoke out against the Romans and fled to the cave, and all those things that every child from kindergarten knows, how Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai spoke out against the Romans and how he managed to escape to the cave for 12 years where miracles happened for him, the carob tree that was created for him, the spring of water, and all those things. Where? In Tractate Shabbat. Why specifically in Tractate Shabbat? Why not in any other tractate? What is the story and what is the apparent connection to Tractate Shabbat? This matter called Shabbat and its connection to the figure of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, his escape to the cave, and this tremendous topic in Judaism called Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, to whom every Jewish person feels so connected and so attached, along with everything related to him, the teachings of the mystical Torah and all these matters. So let's take a moment to look and reflect. We know that a tzaddik, any righteous person, especially in those generations, had the halachic authority to rule on matters of Jewish law. Today, all the sages of Israel, all the scholars, all the righteous people, they are all obligated, and not just today, but for thousands of years already, they have been bound to certain halakhic rules that were established beforehand. As the Rambam writes in his introduction to the Mishneh Torah, from the sealing of the Talmud onward, no one has the authority to disagree with what is stated in the Talmud. As long as the Talmud, the Gemara, had not been sealed, all those Amorim, Tanim, and righteous individuals mentioned in the Gemara had the ability to disagree with one another, and each could act as he saw fit. Someone who chose to be a student of a particular rabbi could, in all matters of law and in all things, follow his own rabbi, and he was not at all obligated to what another rabbi said. From the moment the Talmud was written, everyone follows only the Talmud, and no one has the ability to disagree with it or with one another. No one has the ability to disagree with what is written in the Talmud. And every righteous person, every Tanna or Amora whose words were recorded in the Talmud and who ruled a certain halacha, did so according to his own understanding and reasoning, and all his students, everyone who was under his influence, would act accordingly. Everyone who was under his influence would do as he ruled, would do as he said, without disagreeing or challenging him. A person belonged to a particular rabbi. Whatever that rabbi told him, that is what he would follow. And even though, according to other Tanim or Amoraim, other rabbis who lived in his generation, by acting according to his own rabbi's opinion, he might be transgressing Torah prohibitions or committing serious offenses, no one would make any claim against him. Since he follows this rabbi, people accept the reasoning and the ruling that this rabbi decided, and they follow him. There were the greatest disputes, and the biggest one involving Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai in the entire Talmud with another Tana, and of course the most significant dispute between Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and another Tana in Tractate Shabbat is regarding the law of Muktzeh. Rabbi Shimon disagrees with another Tana, Rabbi Yehuda Bar Ilai, on whether there is Muktzeh on Shabbat or not. Rabbi Yehuda Bar Ilai says yes, there is Muktzeh, the concept of Muktzeh exists. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says the concept of Muktzeh does not exist. The entire concept that we know today, that there are certain objects that are forbidden to touch, forbidden to move, and of course forbidden to use, all of this, Rabbi Yehuda says, is Muktzeh. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says, no, this concept called Muktzeh does not exist. It simply isn't there. Even for Rabbi Shimon, some things are Muktzeh while others aren't. It depends on the specific case and type. His opinion varies, sometimes permitting, sometimes forbidding. Conversely, Rabbi Yehuda consistently applies Muktzeh rules to everything. Rabbi Shimon generally doesn't hold by Muktzeh, as the Gemara initially states. He does not have the concept of Muktzeh, yet in certain specific cases he admits some items are forbidden to move or touch on both Shabbat and Yom Tov. How do we know which things Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai permits regarding Muktzeh and which things Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai forbids regarding Muktzeh? We, with our limited understanding, cannot know. We cannot establish a rule and say, in all the places where Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai spoke about the issue of Muktzeh, we will include it, look for the common denominator among them all, and decide this is what Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai holds, this is his opinion, that in general this is his view. As we said, for every law and every detail of halasha regarding Muktzeh, we find that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's opinion changes. So what is the guiding principle? What is the opinion that guided Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai in all this matter of ruling on Muktzeh? So the Holy One of Israel, the Great One of Israel, the Chatam Sofer, writes in his novella on the Talmud, in the introduction to Tractate Beitza, he writes as follows: what is the main dispute? What is the core of the disagreement between Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and Rabbi Yehuda in all matters of According to Rabbi Yehuda, anything that is generally not used on Shabbat is forbidden for you to use. Anything that you are not usually accustomed to using on Shabbat and you have no essential need for it on Shabbat is forbidden for you to use in any way and under any circumstance. Do you want to use it on Shabbat? Think about it before Shabbat that you do want to use it on Shabbat, and then it may be permitted for you to use it. But otherwise, all objects, all things are forbidden for use on Shabbat. This is what the Chatam Sofer writes. This is in general the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda. And what is the opinion of Rabbi Shimon? Not like that, according to Rabbi Shimon. Except for things that are forbidden because it is prohibited to move them since they are a Shabbat prohibition or something like that. Everything else is permitted on Shabbat. Everything is permitted to be used on Shabbat. And if you don't want to use something, and if this thing in any case becomes Muktzeh for you on Shabbat and is forbidden to you, why is that? Because you decided before Shabbat that you don't want it. Once again, let's clarify things. According to Rabbi Yehuda, anything that does not have regular use and is not used, at every moment and at all times is considered absolutely Muktzeh. If you do want to use one of these things on Shabbat, you need to think about it beforehand and permit it to yourself by deciding before Shabbat that this item will be allowed on Shabbat. According to Rabbi Shimon, it's exactly the opposite. Everything is permitted except for things that are inherently forbidden, such as items that are Muktzeh by their very nature and similar things. All other things are permitted to be used on Shabbat. If you thought that you didn't want to use them on Shabbat, if you actively set them aside, as the Gemara calls it, you set them aside with your own hands and either expressed it through your actions, your words, or in any way that you don't want to use them on Shabbat, then you cannot use them on Shabbat. According to Rabbi Yehuda, everything is forbidden, but if you thought about something in advance, then it is permitted. According to Rabbi Shimon, it's exactly the opposite. Everything is permitted, everything, you can use it, move it, and make use of it on Shabbat. If you yourself thought about something and set it aside, if you thought about something, said that you don't want to use it on Shabbat, and considered what you don't want to use on Shabbat, then only that specific thing is forbidden. The Chatam Sofer writes the same thing, the dispute, the ruling that we have. There is a law in the Gemara called if it was set aside at twilight, it is set aside for the entire time. What does that mean? Something that was Muktzeh at twilight and afterwards, during Shabbat, its Muktzeh status was removed. It is no longer considered Muktzeh, but for the entire Shabbat, it is still regarded as Muktzeh. What does that mean? There was a certain place, there was a certain object, something that had something Muktzeh on it during twilight, during the dusk, before Shabbat begins, the time when we are entering Shabbat, the time that is uncertain whether it is day or night. At that time, if this item was Muktzeh, it automatically becomes Muktzeh for the entire Shabbat, even though the reason it was Muktzeh has ceased. And right now, it shouldn't be considered Muktzeh. But since at the moment Shabbat began, this item was Muktzeh, it will remain Muktzeh for the whole Shabbat. A person lit a candle on some kind of dish or in a cup. If during Ben Hashmashot the candle was burning in this cup or dish, this made the candle, and then the candle went out, the wax or oil that was there was used up, and now what remains is just the cup or the dish. This is something that is permitted to move on Shabbat. Since at the onset of Shabbat, this item was forbidden to move because it had something on it that was prohibited to use, prohibited to diminish, prohibited to make use of on Shabbat, it therefore becomes forbidden for the entire Shabbat. Even though now there is no fire, no candle, no oil, it still becomes Muktzeh for the entire Shabbat. This is how the halacha is ruled, and this is only according to the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda. But according to Rabbi Shimon, as one of the scribes writes, there is no such thing. The item was Muktzeh at the onset of Shabbat, but once Shabbat began, and the reason for its being Muktzeh has ceased and no longer exists in the world, is not present now, that reason has passed, and the Muktzeh status is removed from it, it is no longer considered Muktzeh. This is what the Chatam Sofer writes. This is the distinction, and these are the differences between the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda and the opinion of Rabbi Shimon regarding Muktzeh on Shabbat. So like, whom is the halacha? It depends. There are matters in which the halakha follows Rabbi, there are matters in which the halakha follows Rabbi Shimon regarding Muktzeh, and there are matters in which the halakha follows Rabbi Yehuda. There is a certain thought and opinion among the Rishonim that on Shabbat regarding Muktzeh we follow Rabbi Shimon, and on Yom Tov regarding Muktzeh we follow Rabbi Yehuda. In each separate matter, the Shulchan Aruch's opinion shifts. Yet these remain the views of Rabbi Shimon and Rabbi Yehuda. What does this reveal about Rabbi Shimon's character, his revelation of the Zohar, and all matters related to him? After all, as we said, as we mentioned, where is the main strength of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai revealed to us? In Tractate Shabbat, regarding all Shabbat matters, which opinion stands out and is most prominent? In everything related to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and Shabbat, this dispute is about Muktzeh. So what exactly is Muktzeh? What is Muktzeh really? We know Shabbat is supposed to be a day. Shabbat is a day dedicated to the Holy One, blessed be He. Shabbat is a day when a person refrains from all work. Shabbat is a day when a person is restricted in what he can do with his hands. Shabbat is a day when a person is not supposed to do anything. Shabbat is a comfortable servitude. It is written in holy books that the Holy One gave us the observance of Shabbat and commanded us to keep and honor it. Is because the people of Israel sold Yosef the righteous to be a slave. The sons of Yaakov, our father, sold Yosef the righteous to be a slave in the land of Egypt. Therefore, part of the rectification for that sale is the holy Shabbat. Why? Because Shabbat is a kind of servitude. Servitude, but comfortable servitude. A person cannot go out and work as he does during the week and earn money. May it be spared. A person cannot go wherever he wants. A person cannot pick up any object he wants because of the prohibition of Muktzeh, as we mentioned. Many things restrict a person on Shabbat. What is Shabbat? A comfortable day, a good day, but a person is limited in so many things and he finds himself in a very restricted reality. Up until the moment Shabbat begins, a person can prepare for Shabbat. A person can prepare food. A person can prepare utensils. A person can, regarding Muktzeh, to think, with this utensil, I do want to use it on Shabbat so that it won't be Muktzeh or it won't be Muktzeh. All these things a person can prepare until the onset of Shabbat. From the moment Shabbat begins, you enter a limited world, a closed world, a world where everyone has already set, a world where everyone has already established its rules before Shabbat began, and nothing can be done. A person who wants to go outside the boundary beyond the 2,000 cubits cannot do so from the onset of Shabbat. He needs to set an eruv before Shabbat, to think about it before Shabbat, and before Shabbat, to prepare it. Until the onset of Shabbat, a person can prepare and change everything. From the moment Shabbat begins, everything is already closed, everything is locked. A person, if it's within the utensils he prepared before Shabbat, if it's within the foods he prepared before Shabbat, if it's with these he can act, if it's with these he can do. Once all these things are finished, all the other things are finished as well. Let's try to compare this to things in the world. We know that the Torah, the laws, all these things, they are not just a guide from the Holy One, blessed be He, on how to exist and act within the existing world. On the contrary, there was the Holy Torah, which the Holy One, blessed be He, looked into and created the world, as the Midrash tells us. So in essence, the world is only an allegory. The world is really just an allegory for the Torah. There was the Torah, and the Holy One, blessed be He, said, how do you create a world? How do you make a world that will align itself with the Torah? Therefore, the Holy One, blessed be He, created a world that adapts itself to the Torah. What do we know about the entire world? Creation consists of two realities, similar to Shabbat and a weekday, this world and the world to come. This world is a limited world. What does it mean, a limited world? There are times. Everything in the world has its own times. Everything in the world has its own rules. Everything in the world has its own guidelines. This world is a very limited world. And a person who thinks that, there is some truth to this, but a person who thinks that everything is possible, that anyone can achieve anything, that anyone can do anything, that's not true. At the end of the day, we live in a limited world. A person born into a wealthy family, most likely he will be wealthy. A person born into a family of righteous people, most likely he will be righteous. A person born into a family of wicked people, most likely he will be wicked. This world is a limited world. From the moment a soul arrives in this world, at the very moment the soul enters the world, almost everything about that soul is already determined. As we said, the family a person is born into creates 80% of a person's circumstances. Mazalot. What is Mazal? Destiny, fate. The moment a person's soul descended into the world, a certain Mazal, constellation, fate, ruled among the heavenly bodies. A certain Mazal ruled among the signs of the world, and this Mazal accompanies this person throughout his entire life, and that is the Mazal he will have. A person born under the sign of wealth will succeed in matters of livelihood wherever he turns throughout his entire life. A person born under the sign of poverty, unfortunately, will always be in poverty in every moment and in everything he does in his life. The moment of entering this world is the moment of entering limitation and the moment of entering definitions and rules. Before a person comes into the world, a person defines, and then the Holy One, blessed be He, defines exactly what will happen with that person. We know that the Holy One, blessed be He, as the Midrash says, before every soul descends into the world, the angel appointed over the soul, over the pregnancy, comes to the Holy One, blessed be He, and asks, this soul that is now descending into the world, will the person who is created from it be righteous or wicked? The Holy One, blessed be He, decides. He will be righteous, He will be wise, not righteous or wicked. He will be wise, He will be foolish, He will be handsome, He will be unattractive. All these things the Holy One, blessed be He, determines. All these things the Holy One, blessed be He, decides just before the soul departs. After the soul descends into the world, that's it. Our teacher often mentioned that before coming to this world, God lets each person choose their life's path. What's the source? The Midrash tells us that all the creation of the heavens and the earth and their form were created. What does it mean that their form was created? That before they were created, the Holy One, blessed be He, consulted with them, asked them, are you willing to be what you will be? Are you willing to accept the kind of life you will live? Do you accept the way of life you will have, all of you, the earth, the heavens, the plants, the inanimate human beings with all the things in the world? The Holy One, blessed be He, consulted and asked them before they came into the world. He asked them if they were willing to be as He would create them, or if they were not willing to be as He would create them. All these things the Holy One, blessed be He, asked. For example, every created being. When? Before coming into the world. After coming into the world, a person is no longer asked whether he is happy with his situation. A person is no longer asked if he is happy with the state in which he was created. If he is not happy, nothing is asked of him at all. The Holy One, blessed be He, chose in what state a person would be in the world. The person chose in what state he would be forever. He enters the world and is limited in all things. This helps us understand the opinion, capability, and power of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Yehuda says Muktzeh is set aside on Shabbat. From the moment Shabbat begins, everything that was determined before Shabbat is what is defined, that is what is decided, that is what must happen, nothing can be changed. What does this tell us in the allegory of the world? From the moment a person arrives in this world, he can no longer change things. The Holy One, blessed be He, thought that a person would be a certain way. That is what he will be. He cannot change it, he cannot grow from it, he cannot flourish from it. That is exactly how it will be. Before coming into this world, a person thought and agreed with the Holy One, blessed be He, that he would follow a certain path in life, that he would do certain things in his life, that he would be rich, that he would be poor, that he would be successful or not successful. What a person thought before Shabbat, that is what will be on Shabbat. What a person thought before he came into the world, what a person thought before the very moment he came into the world, that is what will happen to the person throughout all the days of his life as long as he is in this world. While a person is in this world, nothing can be changed and nothing can be replaced. What is Rabbi Shimon's opinion? There is no such thing as Muktzeh on Shabbat. From the moment a person comes into the world, there is no such thing as a person setting something aside in his mind, that something is restricted from a person, that a person does not have access to something, that a person cannot use something, carry something, or move something. On Shabbat, but also in a person's life, there is no such thing as something being distant from a person, something that is beyond a person's grasp, something that is beyond a person's abilities. There is no such thing. It doesn't truly exist. Whatever one hasn't consciously rejected, God may say a thing isn't good for someone, so they won't have it. Or before birth, a person might have said, I don't want this in my life, rejecting it so it won't occur. But who would reject? It's possible that a person wouldn't think of all sorts of things that are good for him before coming into the world, but who would reject good things for himself before coming into the world? That's not a reality that exists, nor is it something that makes sense. So what does that mean? Anything that a person before coming into the world did not reject and say, I don't want it, everything is possible for that person. A person can attain anything. That's why the souls of the last generation are so connected to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Why is that? Because the last generation is the most limited generation. Not only are we limited by what we chose for ourselves before we came into the world, so much so, each person is limited by many things from previous incarnations. For example, if in one lifetime he was wealthy and sinned against the Holy One, blessed be he cannot be wealthy now because he must correct that through poverty. There are so many limitations in this generation because people have been here before and failed to elevate themselves. Every person is limited in every step and movement to correct everything that happened in all previous incarnations. What does Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai say? There is no such thing as limitation. There is no such thing as a person setting something aside in his mind. And another detail, another aspect of this dispute about Muktzeh between Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and Rabbi Yehuda, as we mentioned earlier, what is one of the disagreements between them? About the moment of Bein Hashmashot. What is Bein Hashmashot? Bein Hashmashot is the moment when Shabbat begins. What does Rabbi Yehuda say? If something was Muktzeh during Bein Hashmashot as Shabbat begins, a rule is set determining it remains Muktzeh. This means for the entire Shabbat, that object is Muktzeh. Even if the reason for which this thing was Muktzeh is removed, throughout the entire Shabbat, this thing will remain Muktzeh. Rabbi Yishon Bar Chaima says, no, at that moment this thing was Muktzeh, but once the reason that caused it to be Muktzeh is gone, it will no longer be Muktzeh at all during that Shabbat. What is this similar to? A person's arrival into this world, just as we said. What is the Mazal fortune that a person has? One person has the fortune to be rich, another has the fortune to be poor. What are these fortunes? What are all these things? The moment a person enters this world, What does that mean? What happens at that moment? A person enters the world, arrives in the world, is born. If it's at a moment of fortune for wealth, he will be rich. A person enters the world, if destined for poverty, he will be poor. Rabbi Yehuda asks, a person comes into the world at the moment of twilight, a person arrives like at twilight, the moment when a person is born into the world. What happened at that moment is what will determine what will happen to him for the rest of his life. If you came into the world at a time of wealth, you will always be rich. If you came into the world at a moment when poverty ruled the world for your entire life, you will always be poor. What does Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai say? There is no such thing. A person can come into the world with the fortune of wealth at the moment of wealth, but this can change. A person can come into the world with the fortune of poverty. That he was born into the world not by his own choice, not by anyone's choice, but rather the ways of nature caused him to be born into a state of poverty. According to Rabbi Yehuda, he will always remain in that poverty. According to Rabbi Yehuda, he will always remain in that poverty. According to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, absolutely not. He can always change it and he can always replace it. Where else do we see this issue, this disagreement between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon? That according to Rabbi Yehuda, the moment a person arrives in this world, that is what determines everything. And according to Rabbi Shimon, there is no such thing. If we pay attention, those who are well versed in the Talmud and have looked into it, there are many times when we find Rabbi Yehuda being very strict. This is Rabbi Yehuda Bar Eli, who believed that from the moment things begin, everything should be perfect and the very best. What is written about Rabbi Yehuda Bar Eli? That every Friday evening before the onset of Shabbat, he would immerse and bathe and would sit for hours before Shabbat began, wrapped in his talit, and he appeared like an angel of the Lord of hosts. Why did he appear like an angel? And why did he make such an effort to be so perfect and so good at the very moment Shabbat began? It wasn't just as preparation in honor of Shabbat. All the Tanim and Amorim were very careful to prepare themselves properly, as is fitting and required for the honor of the Holy Shabbat. But what is the difference here? According to Rabbi Yehuda Bar Eli, everything begins according to the moment a person enters into something. If a person enters Shabbat in a good way, the entire Shabbat will be good. If a person enters the world in a good way, the whole world will be good. It is told about Rabbi Yehuda Bar Eli that every time in his city, in his place, when there was a bride and groom getting married, he would take a myrtle branch, and with the myrtle he would dance before the bride. Rabbi Yehuda Bar Eli was honored for this. When seeing grooms and brides, he would dance and bow before them with myrtle branches. He knew the beginning determines a person's entire future. So he said, it's better that I humble myself, better that I lower my own honor a bit, so that this couple will have joy and their whole lives will be filled with happiness. What is Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's opinion? What is the refined opinion of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai? That it's really not like that. Even if at the moment a person arrives in the world, at the moment a person starts something specific, there was a moment of failure and everything went wrong and nothing was good, or everything succeeded. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't say anything about the future. A person through their prayer, their reading, their request from the Holy One, blessed be He, can change everything precisely at any moment and at any time. As we said, this is the reason why the souls of Israel in this generation are so deeply connected to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Other righteous people, the law follows them, they are great, they are holy, they are righteous, but what? They believe things never change. To them, one's birth fortune dictates their entire life. Only Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai disagrees, claiming there is no Muktzeh. To him, nothing is mentally set aside, limiting or truly distant from a person. What is Muktzeh? It means having no access to something. It's right there, but the connection to it is severed at Shabbat's start. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says it exists. Something that a person sees, something that a person desires, something that a person can want, yet the person is limited from that thing and has no access to it. This is the connection of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai from one Shabbat to the next. Why? Because from the halacha that we see, that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai holds regarding Shabbat, the most prominent opinion in the laws of Shabbat, the most well-known opinion in the laws of Shabbat is that of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. From this comes all the strength of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. From this comes the power of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai to exempt the world from judgment, because it could be that a person did something specific at a certain time and period, but afterwards it is no longer something that a person does not have the ability to undo. It is not something from which the ability to correct it and to change it has been taken away from a person. This is one reason why the power of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is so revealed and reaches us specifically through the Holy Shabbat. Another reason, a second explanation for why it is specifically through the Holy Shabbat, in Tractate Shabbat, in the laws of Shabbat, on Shabbat itself, that all the power of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai bursts forth and is revealed to us. All the strength and all the abilities of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. So there is an eulogy that the Marasham of Brezhan, who was one of the greatest halachic authorities in recent generations, a tremendous tzaddik who wrote thousands of responsa, delivered. In halacha, in every matter, he was a giant among giants. So in his book, there is an eulogy that he delivered for his wife. His late wife, this is the eulogy he delivered for her on that day. By the way, today is also the Yahrzeit of the wife of the Maharal of Prague, who was a great righteous woman. It is written about her that she knew dozens of languages, and she would engage in Talmudic debate with her husband, the Maharal of Prague, both in his books and in the conversations he had. She would formulate responses for him. He eulogized his wife who passed away, and this is what he said. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says that every person can exempt the world from judgment. With what power, with what ability can Rabbi Shimon, blessed be he, exempt the world from judgment? So he brings there an explanation on the matter. He brings a parable that is told in the Gemara. The Gemara tells us that once Antoninus asked Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, I have the ability, I have an excuse, I have a reason how a person can exempt himself from judgment. A person has desires in his heart, a person has desires in his body, wishes to do many things. And on one hand, a person greatly desires these things and wants them, but on the other hand, he fears judgment. A person knows that one day, at some point, he will have to stand before the Holy One, blessed be he, and give an account to him for all his actions. He is fearful and afraid of that day. If not for that day, a person would do whatever comes to his mind. Antoninus said to Rabbi, I have an excuse, I have an answer for how the soul can exempt itself from judgment. So what is this excuse actually? What is a person made up of? Of body and soul. Every person is a combination, a fusion of body and soul. The body without the soul cannot function. The soul without the body also cannot function. The soul is something on its own, and the body is something on its own. They cannot function or do anything by themselves. Only when these two things merge together, only when these two things unite, only when these two things come together, only then can the soul do anything. Rabbi said to him, and then Antoninus said, if the Holy One, blessed be he, if after 120 years a person is judged in heaven, goes up to the Holy One, blessed be he, the soul will say to God, it wasn't I who sinned, it was the body that sinned. I alone do not sin. I am holy, I am elevated, I myself would never want to sin. What will the body say to the Holy One, blessed be he? I too would not have sinned on my own. Look, now I am lying in the grave after the soul has ascended to heaven. Can I sin? Can I get up? Can I act or do anything bad? Absolutely not. It doesn't depend on me. It's not my concern. That's what the body will say to the Holy One, blessed be he. So look, we've excused the person. The soul will accuse it will place the blame on the body will place the blame on the soul. Each one will blame the other, and that's it. And with that, it will end. Rabbi Yehuda Segal on this matter. Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi said to him, no, what is this compared to? A very famous parable. Someone had a vineyard and he wanted to guard this vineyard, but he knew that the fruits growing in this vineyard were very high quality fruits, very good fruits, and the God would eat these fruits. Therefore, what would a wise person advise him? To bring two guards, one lame and one blind. The blind one would not see what is in this vineyard, would not be able to eat from the fruits, would not be able to see the fruits of the vineyard and want to go to them. Another person is lame. He does see the fruits, but he is lame. He cannot walk with his legs and eat these fruits. He appointed them as guards. After a certain period, as the Midrash, the Gemara tells, that person comes to the orchard, and what does he see? That the fruits from the orchard, he comes to the vineyard, and what does he see? Because the fruits of the vineyard had been eaten. He asked who ate this? So each one blamed the other. The blind guard said, it was the guard without legs, the lame guard. The blind guard said, could I have done this to him? I can't go to a certain place and pick fruits. The lame guard also said, I can see the fruits, but I can't walk to them. What did the owner do? He put the blind guard on top of the lame guard, and in this way judged them and said, this is probably how you ate. One stood on top of the other, one stood on the other and went to eat. This is how I will judge you, and this is how you will die, and this is how you will receive your punishment for what you ate. So what does that righteous man write? What is it in essence that causes this? That a person will always be held accountable for every transgression he committed. A person committed a sin, he is held accountable for it. Why? The body cannot inform on the soul and place the blame on the soul. The soul cannot accuse the body and place the blame on the body. They can't. Therefore, the person is judged. But what do we know? That there is a halakha that Rabbi Shimon, blessed be he, is the one who adhered to it, he is the one who established it, and he is the one who taught it, that if two people commit an act together, they are exempt. What does that mean? There is a law in the laws of Shabbat that if two people do one thing together, that if two people do something that is forbidden on Shabbat, they are exempt. It is forbidden to do this thing, but 2, it's forbidden to do this thing, but both of them are exempt and are not required to bring a sacrifice. An act that is forbidden on Shabbat, if 2 people join together to do it, it is forbidden to do it on Shabbat, but they are exempt, they are not liable. All of this applies when each of these 2 people could have done it by himself. What is the opinion? And there is a disagreement there in the Gemara regarding if 2 people do something forbidden on Shabbat, but each one individually cannot do it. Each one individually cannot do this thing. Only when both of them join together can they do this thing. In such a case, are they also exempt, but it is still forbidden? Or in this case, are they liable and it is a complete prohibition? What is the halasha? The sages say, also in this case, where there are 2 people who join together and each one by himself could not perform the labor. Only both of them together can do it. That is the way the labor is performed. Therefore, these 2 people are liable. Rabbi Shimon, blessed be he, says that even in this case, where each one by himself could not do the act, and only when both of them do it together are they able to do it, even in this case, they are exempt. This is the opinion of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. So what does Rashbi Bar Yuzhan write? This is essentially the explanation for why Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai can exempt the entire world from judgment. Why? How? So Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says, I established a certain halakha, and this halakha obligates me and applies to everyone in my vicinity. So what does that mean? That everyone in my vicinity, the halasha that the Holy One, blessed be He, the way in which the Holy One, blessed be He, judges him, the way in which the Holy One, blessed be He, brings a claim against him on the day of judgment is according to what I have said. What is it that I have said? That 2 people who do something together, even though each one could not have done it alone, are exempt. Therefore, it is the same here. The soul alone cannot sin. The body alone cannot sin. When the 2 of them join together, then they are able to sin. What did the sages say about this? They are liable in such a case. The Holy One, blessed be He, does punish and does bring judgment. And He does bring a grievance against His creations regarding this matter. Rabbi Shimon Bar Shema says no, even though the soul is something on its own that cannot act by itself and commit a sin. Even though the body is something on its own that cannot work, cannot act, and cannot commit a sin. The moment the 2 are joined together, according to the sages, they are able to do so. Still, according to Rabbi Shimon, they are exempt. The Holy One, blessed be He, does not hold them liable and does not bring them to judgment. And we saw something frightening that Rabbi Yonatan Eibeshutz, the Holy of Holies, writes in his book regarding this matter. Yom Kippur is a day of forgiveness and pardon for the people of Israel. Why is it a day of forgiveness and pardon for the people of Israel? This is the day when the Holy One, blessed be He, sits on the throne of mercy and absolves the people of Israel from all their sins. And every person who repents, everyone who returns to the Holy One, blessed be He. The Holy One, blessed be He, has mercy on him and accepts him in repentance. Why specifically this day? Why not any other day? There are many other good days. There are many other special times. Passover, the time when the Holy One, blessed be He, had mercy on the people of Israel and redeemed the people of Israel. Why is it specifically Yom Kippur that was designated as the day of forgiveness and atonement for the people of Israel? So what will everyone answer and say? On this day, the Holy One, blessed be He, forgave the people of Israel for the sin of the golden calf. In the year when the people of Israel left the land of Egypt, the people of Israel made the golden calf, committing the grave and terrible sin of the golden calf. Then Moses, our teacher, ascended to the heavens for 40 days to appease the Holy One. Again, Moses, our teacher, ascended to the heavens for another 40 days to bring down the second tablets. At the end of these 80 days, 40 days and another 40 days, Moses, our teacher, descended from the heavens and brought the second tablets to the people of Israel. Then he informed the people of Israel that on that very day, the Holy One, blessed be He, forgave them for all their sins, for all their transgressions, and for what they had done with the calf. The Holy One, blessed be He, erased their sin and established that day to be a day of forgiveness, a day of pardon, and a day of atonement for the people of Israel for all generations. So the question remains, everyone who answers will give this as their answer, but it's not entirely clear why. After all, the Holy One, blessed be He, could have forgiven them earlier. He could have forgiven them after 30 days, taught the Torah in the meantime, and written the second tablets after 30 days, or after 60 days, 20 days before Yom Kippur. On Yom Kippur then, the Holy One, blessed be He, forgives the people of Israel. What is special about this day of Yom Kippur? The Holy One, blessed be He, waited from the sin of the golden calf on the 17th of Tammuz until Yom Kippur to forgive the people of Israel. Rabbi Yonatan Eibeshutz explains the reason why by asking what historical event occurred in the world before this forgiveness for the golden calf. It was the circumcision of Abraham, our forefather. Our sages tell us that the day Abraham, our forefather, was circumcised was Yom Kippur. On that very day, Abraham was circumcised. What does on that very day mean? On Yom Kippur, when the Torah says on that very day, it is the day when the Holy One, blessed be He, when Abraham, our forefather, circumcised himself. The Holy One, blessed be He, commanded Abraham, our forefather, who was at an advanced age, at the tremendous age of 100, to circumcise himself. Abraham, our forefather, circumcised himself actually at the age of 90. Our forefather Abraham circumcised himself on Yom Kippur. We remember this act. There are many covenants in the world. Why was this day still chosen to be? Why was this day still designated as the day of forgiveness and atonement for the people of Israel? So it is written in the Midrash that when Abraham, our forefather, when the Holy One, blessed be He, told Abraham, our forefather, to circumcise himself, Abraham was afraid, Abraham was fearful. So what did the Holy One, blessed be He, do? This is what the Midrash writes. The Midrash writes that the Holy One, blessed be He, placed His hands upon the hands of Abraham, our forefather, and thus Abraham, our forefather, and the Holy One, blessed be He, together performed the circumcision of Abraham. They cut the foreskin from Abraham together. The Holy One, blessed be He, and Abraham, our forefather. And this is what we say every morning in the prayer, and He established the covenant with him. We say about Abraham, our forefather, and He established the covenant with him. What does He establish the covenant with him mean? This covenant Abraham made in his flesh was performed by both our forefather and the Holy One together. Thus, He established the covenant with him. The Holy One placed His hands upon Abraham's, and thus our forefather performed his covenant. Why was Abraham so eager to circumcise himself? After all, Abraham, our forefather, at a very young age, jumped into the fiery furnace without any fear, without any dread. Abraham, our forefather, jumped into the fiery furnace. Abraham, our forefather, walked the world, underwent trials, and went from kingdom to kingdom and from nation to nation, never fearing or dreading anything, always doing the will of the Holy One, blessed be He. Why is it specifically here, at the moment when the Holy One, blessed be He, told Abraham, our forefather, to circumcise himself, that suddenly Abraham was afraid? Was he suddenly concerned for his health? Why was it that Abraham, our forefather, was never afraid of anything, and we can see just how unconcerned he was for his health even 3 days later? 3 days after Abraham, our forefather, was in the peak of his pain, at the height of his physical suffering, what did Abraham do? He ran to greet the angels, ran to look for guests, even though the sun was blazing and it was the most dangerous day for him. He searched for guests to bring them into his home, sought guests to welcome them into his house so they would stay with him. So Abraham, our forefather, was not so afraid for his health or his life. Why is it that here suddenly Abraham is very afraid? So what does this mean? We know that a Brit Milah overrides Shabbat. A Brit Milah overrides Shabbat and holidays, but only if the circumcision is done at its proper time. What does that mean? If there is a child who is born and at the proper time, 8 days after the birth, they perform the circumcision, then the Brit overrides Shabbat. Even though it is Shabbat and circumcision is forbidden for several reasons, still. The circumcision overrides. The circumcision still overrides Shabbat, and it is permitted to perform it. But if it is a delayed circumcision, if for some reason it was forbidden to circumcise the child on the 8th day, the child was not circumcised and the Brit was postponed to other days, then it is no longer performed on Shabbat. If Shabbat arrives and then it would be possible to circumcise the child, it is postponed by another day to Sunday. Why? A Brit only overrides Shabbat if it is performed at its proper time. If it's not on time, it doesn't. So why was Abraham afraid to circumcise himself? His was a delayed circumcision, not at the proper time. He was already 90 years old when it happened. Abraham said, the Holy One has commanded me to circumcise myself now. It's forbidden. I would be desecrating Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is like Shabbat. What is said about Yom Kippur? A Sabbath rest. Abraham said, I will not circumcise myself because God commanded him. But still, what do we know? How did Abraham follow the entire Torah before it was given? Sages say his body was holy, that if there was a commandment he needed to fulfill, his body would automatically be drawn to perform that mitzvah. If it was a transgression, something forbidden, he would automatically recoil from the sin and not do it. Here the Holy One, blessed be He, commands Abraham to circumcise himself. He feels he shouldn't circumcise himself since it's Yom Kippur. What did the Holy One do? He placed his hand on Abraham's hand, and thus the Holy One, blessed be He, and Abraham circumcised together. What is the benefit of this? Why is this? What's the advantage of God helping Abraham with his circumcision? What is Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's view? Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says if two people perform an act together, they're exempt from liability. So Abraham alone was forbidden to circumcise himself. But the Holy One, blessed be He, and Abraham, our father, performed it together. Since two people are performing the act, they are exempt, and it is permitted in this manner. So Yom Kippur is the day of forgiveness and pardon. Why? Because everywhere and always the law ignores Rabbi Shimon's view. On Yom Kippur, what was revealed by the Holy One, blessed be He Himself, as Rabbi Yonatan Eberschutz writes, as he writes, what was revealed on Yom Kippur? What was revealed on Yom Kippur by the Holy One, blessed be He Himself, is that in fact the law is according to Rabbi Shimon. Yes, the law is according to Rabbi Shimon. This is what exempts the people of Israel from all sins. This is what exempts the people of Israel from all the prohibitions that should have come upon them. If we follow other sages, if we follow the regular law, the Holy One, blessed be He, would have a grievance with His creations. The Holy One, blessed be He, could judge a person. God forbid the Holy One, blessed be He, would have a grievance with His creations. The Holy One, blessed be He, could judge a person, rebuke a person, bring upon a person very severe prohibitions for the bad things he has done. But what then? The moment it is revealed that the law follows Rabbi Shimon, everything is forgiven and everything is sweetened. What is the day on which the Holy One, blessed be He, Himself proved that the law follows Rabbi Shimon? Yom Kippur. On Yom Kippur, the Holy One proved the law follows Rabbi Shimon. This day, throughout all generations, is for forgiveness and pardon for Israel. Nothing else occurred then. What exactly happened? Abraham offered himself up. What links this to Israel's forgiveness and the law established via his circumcision? Per Rabbi Shimon, when two perform an act together, they are exempt. The law was established according to Rabbi Shimon. This is what exempts all of Israel from judgment. This is what brings forgiveness. This is what brings pardon to all of Israel. And this is what is written in the Torah. 2 portions earlier, in Parashat HaCheremot, the Torah tells about the passing of Aaron's sons. So what happened then? Aaron, the priest's 2 sons, entered the temple, offered a strange fire that they were not supposed to offer, and that fire consumed them, that fire burned them and killed them. And then after that, the Holy One, blessed be He, appeared to Moses, our teacher, and told him to speak to Aaron the priest and say to him the word of God to Moses after the death of Aaron's 2 sons. And he says to him, with this shall Aaron come into the holy. What does this mean? What's the issue here? That the Holy One, blessed be He, says to Moses, our teacher, Aaron's sons have died, it happened. The Holy One, blessed be He, the Holy One, blessed be He, says to Moses, our teacher, the 2 sons of Aaron the priest have died, and with this shall Aaron come into the holy. What is the connection between these 2 things? After all, when does the Torah tell the story of the death of Aaron's sons? In Parashat Shemini. In Parashat Shemini, at the beginning of the portion, the Torah tells about the death of Aaron's 2 sons. After that, there's the second part of Parashat Shemini, where all the laws are given. There are all the laws regarding forbidden foods. After that comes Parashat Tazria. After that comes Parashat Metzora, and after that comes Parashat Acharemot. What is written in Parashat Acharemot? All the matters of Yom Kippur, how the high priest enters the Holy of Holies on Yom Kippur, offers a sacrifice and atones for all the people of Israel. That is what is written there. There is no mention of her death, nothing related to the passing of Aaron's 2 sons. But why? Why does the Holy One, blessed be He, say to Moses, as a preface to all these laws of Yom Kippur, after the death of Aaron's 2 sons? Let's read the verses. And the Lord said to Moses to speak. And the Lord spoke to Moses after the death of Aaron's 2 sons, when they drew near before the Lord and died. And there is another verse, with this shall Aaron come into the holy place, and then all the laws of Yom Kippur. Seemingly, what is the connection between this and that? Are we commanded regarding Aaron the high priest's entry on Yom Kippur in a specific way? One thing, they mentioned beforehand what happened after the death of Aaron's 2 sons, when they drew near before the Lord. Seemingly, what is the connection between these 2 things? What is the connection between these things? There is no connection between these things at all. So what then? Our sages tell us if we look and contemplate, there is something very strange about this matter. What did we say? That any 2 people who do something are exempt from this matter. Exempt from this matter. And they are not liable for a sin because of what they did. 2 people who do something, according to Rabbi Shimon, are exempt from this matter. If so, the 2 sons of Aaron who approached the holy place, the 2 sons of Aaron who came into the holy place, how did they die? How were they burned after all? They were 2. So what does the Holy One, blessed be He, say to Moses, our teacher? Tell Aaron the priest not to look at the fact that his 2 sons died by burning, even though they were 2. Aaron enters the holy place with this. The Midrash says with this refers to circumcision. What? Look at the covenant of circumcision. Just as our forefather Abraham circumcised together with the Holy One, blessed be He, on Yom Kippur, so our sages tell us. And what do we learn from this? That the power of the covenant of circumcision is revealed to us. That sometimes the law follows Rabbi Shimon. that on Yom Kippur, indeed, the law follows Rabbi Shimon, that when two people do something together, they are exempt, and therefore Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is a day of sweetness, a day of mercy, a day of great kindness. Therefore, the power of Rabbi Shimon, the words of Rabbi Shimon, where are they revealed to us from? Specifically from Tractate Shabbat. Why? Because from where does all the power of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai come to rule in a way that benefits all of Israel? That brings mercy to all of Israel, that brings kindness to all of Israel. Where does it come from? From two rulings that he gives, from two declarations, from two determinations that he establishes in the laws of Shabbat. First of all, in the laws of Muktzeh, as we said, there is no such thing as a person being truly limited by something. There is no such thing as something not belonging to a person. There is no reality in which something a person desires is beyond his ability to attain. Just as even if during the weekday a person did not prepare for Shabbat something he wants to use, is it permitted according to Rabbi Shimon? Similarly, even if the Holy One, blessed be He, did not designate something specific for a person before he came into the world, even if a person did not request something specific from God before coming into this world, within this world, during the time of limitation, while a person is in this world, through prayer, through asking, a person can change all of this. A person is born under a certain Mazal, fortune or destiny. At the moment of his arrival into the world, a certain Mazal prevailed in the world. This does not mean that this Mazal will limit him during his lifetime. This does not mean that this Mazal will determine who he will be. This does not mean that this Mazal will dictate who he is obligated to be. This is a law in the laws of Shabbat from which Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai derives his power, establishing his ability to bestow mercy, goodness and kindness upon all who are attached to him. Another law in the laws of Shabbat from which we also learn for Yom Kippur is that when two people perform an act together, they are exempt. The body and soul of a person do something together, they are exempt. So a person who is attached to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, a person who reads the Holy Zohar, a person who seeks shelter in the shadow of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he merits sweetness, he merits mercy, he merits this great kindness. The Holy One, blessed be He, with this that I bless each and every one, the merit of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, blessing, success, joy, and all that is good.
It is very important for you to fully understand and keep in mind that there are several key details and various aspects regarding this matter which you should be aware of before we move forward.